I mean,
So you
I'm
feel
thinking-
comfortable just sharing everything?
I
Pretty
think we
much.
shared pretty much everything, and I would have to say
Pretty much.
it wasn't even a matter of navigation.
Yeah.
She is not doing well. May I say she is not? She is not doing well because she has now death threats and has to now travel with security. She's not doing well and feels that she was put in a really terrible position.
Hold up, y'all. Did Oprah just get outed by her own bestie, Gayle King? Gayle is out here dropping a list of celebs Oprah allegedly unalived. And we're not talking about a literal crime scene, but careers getting shut down in cold blood. And guess what? Oprah is out here running scared, trying to cover it all up. So what's really going on between these two? Let's get into it. According to our inside sources, Oprah Winfrey's empire might finally be on the verge of crumbling. And the dagger might have come from none other than her best friend, Gayle King. That's right, Gayle King, the one person Oprah has trusted more than anyone else. They've been through thick and thin for decades, but now things are looking a little different. Allegedly, Gayle King has just dropped a bombshell that could put an end to Oprah's reign as the most untouchable figure in Hollywood. If that wasn't enough, there are reports suggesting Gayle might have exposed some serious secrets. Secrets that could bring Oprah down. When you think about iconic duos in Hollywood, Oprah and Gayle probably come to mind as the ultimate pair. They've been inseparable for decades, standing by each other through all the highs and lows. Their bond seemed unbreakable. Some even called it the perfect friendship. While some people saw their connection as heartwarming, others have always speculated that there might be something deeper beneath the surface. Oprah and Gayle's friendship wasn't just about working together, it was about something bigger. But now, everything's starting to shift.
It wasn't even a matter of navigation.
Yes.
You know, for years, people used to say we were gay or that we were, but and listen, we were up against that for forever.
It all started back in 1976. Oprah, who was working as an anchor in Baltimore, invited Gayle, a young production assistant at the time, to stay at her house during a snowstorm. Despite not knowing each other well, Oprah didn't hesitate. Their bond grew from there. Oprah and Gayle had so much in common, especially when it came to their experiences growing up. Gayle, having grown up in an all-white community, felt like an outsider. Oprah had her own struggles, moving between her grandmother's, mother's, and father's homes, feeling neglected and searching for love and attention. But when they met, they both found someone who truly understood them. They weren't just friends, they were soulmates in the sense that they filled each other's voids. Oprah said it herself, Gayle became the sister she never had. They were kindred spirits who truly had each other's backs.
One of the things I started to think was maybe people aren't accustomed to seeing women with this kind of truth bond.
So, how did it all fall apart? Fast forward to today, and Gayle is reportedly spilling some serious tea that could shake Oprah's world. Gayle has allegedly exposed some secrets that have been buried for years, secrets that Oprah doesn't want anyone to know. But that's not all. To make things worse, Gayle has apparently been revealing even more shocking details about the people Oprah has been connected with throughout her career. Some of the names being tossed around are people Oprah has worked with, and these connections are looking pretty questionable.
Y'all quit playing. Quit playing. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me, y'all. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this.
Gayle's willingness to dive deep into some controversies, but completely sidestep others, has a lot of people scratching their heads. When she went after R. Kelly, it was like she had a personal vendetta, asking him those tough questions, getting him to break down in one of the most memorable interviews of the decade. But when it comes to figures like Diddy or Jay-Z, who also have their own share of allegations and rumors swirling around them, Gayle's been suspiciously silent. And here's where it gets even crazier. Word on the street is that there are some very shady things happening behind the scenes to keep people quiet. It's been rumored that Oprah, Gayle, and even Tyler Perry have been involved in some serious behind-the-scenes maneuvers to protect their reputations and their Hollywood connections. It seems like no one wants to risk losing their place in that inner circle, especially when it comes to powerhouses like Diddy and Jay-Z. So get this. Some sources claim that private investigators have been hired to track down influencers, podcasters, and media personalities who might be getting too close to the truth. These investigators aren't just snooping around for gossip, no. Allegedly, they're offering hush money to those who might have dirt on these celebrities. And if the money doesn't work, well, there are rumors that the threats could escalate. Now, the idea that Oprah and Gayle could be involved in something this dark, this covert, might sound like a stretch. But when you start looking at how carefully they've curated their public images, it doesn't seem so far-fetched. You have to wonder, are they just doing damage control, or are they truly hiding something bigger? And why, after all these years, is Gayle staying mum on certain topics? Maybe, just maybe, there's more to her silence than we realize. To make things even more suspicious, we know Diddy and Oprah move in the same elite circles, and they both have deep ties to some of the most powerful figures in Hollywood. So could it be that Gayle King is dodging certain stories because they might mess with Oprah's connections and damage her brand? And honestly, things get even sketchier when you look at what just went down on Piers Morgan Uncensored. In a jaw-dropping episode titled Diddy Has Tapes on Everyone, Candace Owens went in hard, making claims about Diddy's influence and the control he has over people in Hollywood.
You have been at so many parties, friends with these people. You constantly purport that you're fighting for social justice on every cause. Like I said, the real litmus test was the video, which Diddy owned.
Now, Candace Owens didn't hold back at all. She practically accused Diddy of silencing people for years, saying that Hollywood's biggest players, yes, including Gayle, know way more than they're letting on. And here's the kicker. After all that, Gayle, who is known for her no-holds-barred interviews and willingness to go after anyone, has stayed completely silent. At this point, it's no longer just awkward. It's looking more and more like it's intentional.
Now, who knows where this scandal goes or what names get dragged in and in what way. But what it's taught me is you just have to be careful when a story like this breaks.
Why hasn't Gayle stepped up and addressed any of this? Owens didn't hold any words. She called out how powerful figures like Diddy stay untouchable because they have dirt on people. We're talking secrets, scandals, and maybe even tapes. Whether that's real or just a metaphor, the message was clear. No one is going to mess with Diddy because of the potential fallout from what he might expose. And that's where Gayle's sudden silence gets real shady. Now, y'all, this is where things get extra messy because Gayle King has allegedly spilled some major tea about Oprah's connections to people she may have unalived or played a role in their downfall. And guess who's at the top of that list? Michael Jackson. Oh yes. Let's dive into this one because the drama here is thick. So, as you might remember, Oprah and Michael Jackson had some kind of rift going on way before his tragic death. Their relationship went from seemingly cordial to downright shady, real quick. And when MJ was hit with allegations about inappropriate relations with a younger boy, Oprah wasn't exactly in his corner. In fact, she openly supported his accusers. I know people all over the world are going to be in an uproar and debating whether or not Michael Jackson did these things or not. Did he do it or not do it? Whether these two men are lying or not lying, Oprah said at the time. But here's the kicker, she added. For me, this moment transcends Michael Jackson. It is much bigger than any one person. This is a moment in time that allows us to see this societal corruption. It's like a scourge on humanity, and it's happening right now. It's happening in families. Now, let's keep it real. Those words were heavy, and the fact that she stood behind the accusers made a lot of MJ's fans furious. And the shade didn't stop there. Oprah had Michael on her show once, interviewing him. And guess what? When she tried to press him about some of these allegations, MJ straight up ignored her questions. He didn't even try to address them. Instead, he started singing. That moment was awkward and low-key iconic. But you just know Oprah probably took that as a major offense.
You know what? I mean, all the things ever printed in the tabloid, the only thing's ever been true is when they said I couldn't dance.
It
when we were
doesn't
here the
seem
last
to
time
matter,
shooting
and
the
it doesn't
commercial, you
seem-
were, yeah. And when you were up all night dancing.
Fast forward, and MJ's death was both tragic and, let's be honest, shady as hell. He passed away under mysterious circumstances in his home, and for years now, there have been endless speculations that his death wasn't just an accident. In fact, his passing has even been linked to none other than Diddy, yes, that Diddy, who, by the way, is super close to Oprah. Here's the wild part. After MJ's death, Diddy ended up hiring MJ's former bodyguard. Coincidence? I don't think so.
I really need to stop digging for shit because when I dig for stuff, I find things that make me feel uncomfortable. Now, I know you know the man on the left and the man on the right, but do you know the man in the middle? The man in... I'm sorry. This is Fahim Muhammad. He is the head of security of Diddy, who used to be the head of security of MJ the year he was unalived.
Now, here's where it gets darker. Some sources claim that Oprah, through Diddy, might have had a hand in whatever went down with MJ. And if that's the case, it would explain why neither Oprah nor Gayle King have said a single word about the current allegations Diddy is facing. And let's not forget, Oprah and Diddy move in the same elite circles. So if there's any truth to these rumors, they both have a lot to lose.
I'm going to take your souls. We have the power. We decide what's hot.
But wait, it gets even messier. Oprah's past connections are stirring up major drama as critics point fingers at her ties to some seriously controversial figures like Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, and others. Things really heated up after a 2021 clip of Oprah's 2003 interview with Dolly Parton resurfaced. In the clip, Oprah pressed Dolly about her plastic surgery in a way that came across as more than a little shady.
So how are you defying age, Dolly? What you doing?
Oh, I don't know. I'm a cartoon, so I just look the same all the time. It's the same thing. I just put mine on, so I
No,
don't...
but you've been open about that. You have had some work done. Some tucks and pulls and
yes,
sucks.
I have, and I'll have some more when I need them.
The backlash was swift, especially when actress Rose McGowan chimed in. In a now-deleted tweet, McGowan didn't hold back, slamming Oprah and accusing her of supporting a sick power structure for her own gain. McGowan pointed out Oprah's long-standing ties to Weinstein and her decision to step away from a documentary about Russell Simmons' essay Accusers. In her tweet, McGowan wrote, "I wish she were real, but she isn't." From being pals with Weinstein to abandoning Simmons victims, she's as fake as they come. Lizard Oprah. Now, let's be real. Oprah's connection to Weinstein has been a thorny topic for years. Back in 2018, singer Seal even called her out, claiming she turned a blind eye to Weinstein's alleged misconduct while still cozying up to him at events. Seal didn't mince words, and fans haven't forgotten the photos of Oprah and Weinstein looking way too friendly on red carpets over the years.
What I reposted was not an attack on Oprah at all. She just happened to be the person photographed with the pig in the picture. No, what I reposted was commentary on the hypocritical and double-standard nature and behavior of Hollywood.
And y'all, if you thought that was bad, wait until you hear about John of God. Yes, Oprah endorsed João Teixeira de Faria, better known as John of God, giving him a platform on her show back in 2010. Oprah's glowing feature on him led to thousands of people putting their faith in him. But as it turns out, John of God wasn't just a spiritual healer. He was later exposed as a convicted SO. After Oprah's endorsement, more and more people trusted him, only to find out he was worse than anyone could have imagined. Over 600 women came forward with accusations, detailing the horrific abuse they suffered under his guise of healing. And yet Oprah has barely addressed the fallout, leaving many to wonder about her accountability.
Todos nós somos médium.
Everybody is a medium
Pratica o bem.
who practices good, and we are all children of God.
Oh, but we're not done yet. There are even whispers that Oprah might have had a connection to Jeffrey Epstein, and y'all already know his passing, which was ruled as a suicide, has been one of the most speculated events in recent history. Many believe powerful people who didn't want to be exposed for their alleged trips to Epstein's infamous island might have had a hand in silencing him, and some are now speculating that Oprah could be one of them.
So let me ask you this right off the bat. Well, I don't know what I'm going to ask you. He didn't kill himself, right? I don't believe so.
Here's why this theory has people raising eyebrows. Allegedly, there have been reports of disappearances at Oprah's South Africa school for girls that nobody seems to be talking about. And it gets darker. Those disappearances were tied to rumors by the matrons who worked at the school. Some of the girls even came forward with allegations of mistreatment, but the story never gained much traction. Now here's where it gets wild. The rumor mill is spinning with claims that the girls who disappeared from Oprah's school might have allegedly been moved to Epstein's island. And if there's even a shred of truth to this, it would explain why a figure like Epstein, who held so many secrets about the rich and powerful, was suddenly silenced. Could Oprah have been involved in some way to protect her image? It's all alleged, of course, but the timing and connections are way too sus.
Oprah Winfrey has had a lot of controversy around her African school for girls, with huge conspiracy theories starting that these girls were going missing from Oprah's school.
And let's not forget, the only person who could possibly know all this tea about Oprah is none other than Gayle King. After all, these two have been inseparable for decades. They've been through everything together, and some have even speculated that their relationship goes deeper than friendship. And if that's true, Gayle could have access to secrets that no one else does. Ever since the elections, Oprah has been making very few public appearances, and the timing couldn't be more sus. The feds have been closing in on Hollywood elites lately, and it feels like no one is safe. First, it was Diddy getting hit with some serious allegations. Then Mike Jeffries, the former chief executive of Abercrombie & Fitch, faced accusations of misconduct. And now, Jay-Z is under fire with allegations that he and Diddy forced themselves on a 13-year-old back in 2000. With the walls closing in on some of the biggest names in entertainment, it's no wonder Oprah seems to be keeping a low profile. Could she be the next target in this growing wave of scandals? The timing is too coincidental to ignore. People are speculating that Oprah might be on the run, trying to keep out of the spotlight before any skeletons in her closet are dragged out into the open. Let's be real, if the feds are going after Hollywood's elites, Oprah might not be untouchable after all. With everything Gayle King is allegedly spilling, Oprah could be next on the list, and honestly, it's only a matter of time before the truth comes out, one way or another. So what do you guys think? Could Gayle King really be exposing Oprah's darkest secrets? Or is this just another Hollywood feud blown out of proportion? Is there any truth to these rumors about Oprah's connection to Epstein, Diddy, and Jay-Z? And most importantly, is Oprah keeping a low profile because she's innocent or because she knows something we don't? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more tea, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Trust me, we've got a lot more to unpack in the days ahead.